The book of John, chapter 21. The book of John, chapter 21. Here they are. The power and the promise of Peter was playing. He has denied Christ. When Christ was taken away, he is still pushing from that betrayal, from that backsliding. Backsliding is not good. When you go back from what you profess, when you backslide, your character will go down. Your utterances will go down. Your gifts in you will go out. You will think like the Pharisees. And so he has denied Christ. He has done more than what the Pharisees did. Of course, let's even put him in the situation of the Pharisees. He, Peter, was instrumental to the nailing of Christ. If you want to examine him, and Christ told him, you will fail. This thing you are doing, this aggression you are showing, Christ, you will not go. This way you want to control Christ, you will go down. The other kept quiet. Peter was the only one talking. And so, when it was time for him to defend the master, he lost the courage. And that one was fighting him. And when Christ was gone, he said, I go what? As fishing. He has to fish. He has to fish because he has denied the man who made him fishers of men. So he has to go back. The more you go down, you will lose the frenzy. Let me tell you, it has happened to me before. And so when I see some displays, the things that have knocked me down before, when I see somebody doing it, I know this is going to be the result. It's going to be Peter's experience. You will deny Christ because of little things, little questions. You just see that you are not who you ought to be. And so Christ was gone. The man has to become a fisherman. And so he told the others, the business of preaching is not yielding anymore. Our master is gone. I go and fishing. Everybody follows me. And while they were busy, you know, when you're praying, what the Lord has not asked you to do, there will be no result. But when you wait for the Lord, whatever the Lord says you should do, will not make sense to another person. The way you are doing it, there could be no condemning you. That's not how you're supposed to do it. You are not doing it right. But if it is the Lord that is leading you, you follow. May I tell you this? I studied about church history a lot. I study about church history. And I pick it from the first century after the death of Christ. I move it to 500 BC after the death of Christ. I've decided, my own conclusion is this. If I'm a false prophet, if I'm a false preacher, I will have my own disciples. People will listen to somebody. You don't need to do it like those people. Once you have a platform and you are there, you will get scapegoat. The same way, if I'm doing what I'm doing by the Spirit of God, people are like-minded. The Spirit, the measure of the Spirit, they will flow in my direction. And so Peter, though he has fallen flat, the other people, they followed him. And he became their leader. They now began to struggle. They were struggling. And Christ knew that these are my first 11. The third man is gone. I can't leave them. And he came to talk to them. Children, have you only me? And they realized that they had made mistakes. And Peter, the man was now asking Peter, do you love me more than money? Do you love me more than bread? Do you love me more than fish? Well, I had a preacher preaching today. I think they are from the East, Dominion something ministry. Pastor Adesina or so. He has a branch in Abuja, and the pastor in Abuja was preaching. I heard him say, what is your motive to ministry? Why are you a minister? What makes you to think that you want to preach, you want to start a church? That will determine how far you will go and how the Lord will help you. So Peter, he talks like by fishing, he can make money. The money that they are not making, with preaching of the gospel. And so Christ came to talk to us. Do you love me more than money? If it is money that brought you to ministry, it will show all for yourself and nothing for anybody. But Christ now, was able to meet Peter. Peter now prayed. When we saw John, let's read it. Verse 20 of chapter 21. Then Peter turning about, said the disciple, whom Jesus Lord, follow me, which also leaned on his bread at supper, and said, Lord, which is he that betrayed thee? Peter saying himself to Jesus, Lord, and what shall this man do? Look at this. Peter was concerned about John. So this young man now, you say I should feed the sheep. I should do this. I should do that. What is the word of John? In verse 22, Jesus said unto him, if I will by eternity like come, what is that to thee? Swallow thou me. Then went he saying abroad among the brethren that disciples should not stand. Yes, Jesus said not to stand, he shall not stand. But if I will that eternity like come, what is that to thee? Look what I mean. This is what Christ said, that this young man is going to wait for me to come back. Yes. And Christ wants to write a book. Christ wants to write a memo about what is coming. And now, Christ did not give anybody a truth to praise. It is the same plan that is dying of life. Christ was not willing to raise any pastor. He was not willing to raise any leader. But when the Bible is about to die, and when Christ came, he wasn't telling John, sorry for being in prison, sorry for the suffering. He told John, right? An old man in 100 years of age must right. I believe the hand will be shaking. But no consideration was given to that. That tells me that the life of the pastor is on the radar. And the Lord will examine everything you do, everything you say, every money you spend, every man under your leadership. The Lord is going to examine. And so the man, John, was being examined here. And after John had been examined, he passed the test. He now said, I'm going to send you to 7 pastors, 7 churches. And I'm going to tell you what is happening in each of the churches. That's why you have chapter 2 of Revelation, to chapter 3 of Revelation, scrutinizing the work of the ministry. I told you on Sunday, those of you stayed with me after the normal worship, when I was talking to you, I told you that on Thursday, I said that I'm not okay. When I was telling you that I'm not okay, you thought maybe I've committed one sin. No. I'm looking at the work. I'm looking at my efforts. I'm looking at everything, how we are moving. The ones we have been able to do well, the ones we have not been able to do well. And I ask questions. I call this one. The message of yesterday, how did it touch you? I want to know. Don't tell me grammar. Don't tell me pastor is okay. No, it's not okay. Okay is not the answer. You must tell me what the word is doing in your life. And I must see the reflection of that work in your life. I must see that you are becoming more sober. You are becoming more quiet. You are able to take more insults. And you will watch my own life. Whether what I'm preaching, I'm not doing it. Whether I'm just telling you to do it, and I'm not in that form. And as we wrap ourselves together, as we challenge ourselves together, we are looking for a breakthrough unimaginable. We are looking for something that is mega. And if we are going to get it, we also must be mega spiritually. And so, I examine myself and I tell people on that I'm not okay. I'm looking for something. And when I got back home, the Lord confirmed that truly I'm not okay. But where is the problem? I was asking God, do I need to read books? Do I need to go somewhere for them to pray for me? And I couldn't get answer. I have books. If you want to talk about, I'm a theologian by my very self. And I went into my library. And I look at Pastor Kumo's book, I saw it there. I look at so many books in my house. And I saw T.L. Osborne. And I heard Pastor here, Bishop Oyedepo, talking about it. And I picked the book of T.L. Osborne on Good Life. And I laid on my bed, nobody's around to disturb me. And I began to read. I read the preface. I was going to the introduction. And the Lord said, no, it's not this book that will do it. It's me that will do it. He said, drop the book, drop it. And I fell asleep in the night. I told you, I saw my old friend, a pastor, and he came around and said, it's long time we saw. How's everything? We move here and there. He was just out of sight. I saw myself fighting something. And the thing held me down. The man came and said, Brother, are you fighting? I said, underwater. I refused to explain the meaning of underwater to you people because it's a secret. And I ended my story with people that there are some things you don't count. There are some things you thought you are right. But you are not right. It's not fornication, it's not adultery, it's not stealing, it's not fighting, it's not gossiping, it's not anything. It has nothing to do with church matter. It has to do with me. And when I told my wife said, wow. So God is expecting excess holiness from you. I said, yes. It's not sin, it's not anything. There are small matter that you can just look and say something. And the Lord said, no. He now began to teach me that as a pastor, if I want to talk, this is how I should say it. I shouldn't say it this way. It's not sin, it's not talking about anybody's problem. It's my personal way of describing something. It's my personal way of talking. So I now knew that if I'm going to say anything on the pulpit, if I say it is finished, I must tell you that the I there is in capital and not in small letter. My words must be exact how it should be. If God will scrutinize me with grammar to the level of my grammar and say, as a pastor, if you want to describe this thing, dot the I, cross the T. Then I said, Lord, that means every pastor, every leader is being followed by the principle in the book of Revelation. And all the pastors in the book of Revelation, only two escaped. the rest, they have something to grind. You will have something to grind. If you as a pastor, as a leader, you are acting on hearsay. If your suggestions, I base every action here on your suggestions and proof, the owner of the church will query you. And that is why I told my wife, I said, do you see that God was not scrutinizing me and this my preaching? No, he wasn't scrutinizing me and my laziness, lazy. He wasn't scrutinizing me on money and immorality, nothing like that. But he wants me to be perfect in everything I'm saying. To say it as it is said. He told me that if I see a blue color and I want to describe it, I should not call it dark blue if I'm not sure. I should say that it looks to me like dark blue. Peradventure, I got it wrong. That every statement you make that are not accurate, heaven will take you down. That if you see a aeroplane and you say the road USA, maybe your eyes saw USA, but it's UBA, and you did not know, you shouldn't say that thing is UBA because you are not sure. You said, what my eyes saw looks like, boy, no problem. My senses came right. That the Lord will scrutinize you. I'm sure the pastoral scrutiny, He will give it to you. Nobody will be there. That's why I thank God because I don't know this. All that I'm doing is the one instructing me. And when he says that, the boy who did this for beach, but he always asks to, how about the church? I said, fine. Well, when I was buying this instrument, the boy thought I was mad. Because there's a church nearby, there's a musician in the shop. We looked at the instrument the musician was using, and he was telling me, this is how I should do it. I told him no. He brought an engineer that will construct this thing for me. We bargained. When I went to pray, the Lord said no. That doesn't want that man. I should find that thing to go and buy. The Bible said, the owner of the world said, I should buy. He said, it's 2 months. I know. I know. But the owner said, that's what you want. And today, God is talking about all these things now. If I tell you their prices, you will thank God that I have gotten it now. But the Lord looked ahead and said, buy them now. Let me tell you, the building of this church, these are built, all buildings are built from foundation. This one is not from foundation, it's from roof. He put roof first and put first floor. It's big God. Help me clap for Jesus. It is the one who can do that. He beats my imagination. Sometimes when he's telling me, for example, look at this camera. When I asked my brother to go and check the price, I know I can't. I told you we are not going to buy camera again. Am I right? The Lord came and said, he wants that camera. I said, no, the rent is upward to 2 months. He said, do what I asked you to do. I said, okay, God. They said, I should do what I should do. Look for the price. And he's very serious about that. Those people boys, they fear him. He will drive your neck to the phone. And they are looking at it, but they have been talking me before. I say, no, this is my director. Whatever it is, if you don't like him, we are not buying anything here. He's criticizing them seriously. The Lord said, when I paid for he didn't know we have that I could get the money. When he was just looking at me, I said, they say we should buy you. And the Lord provided the money. I said, once he said, do this, I won't know how the money will come. If it's my wife will always tell me that you better spend that money. You know, if you spend it when it brings money. She knows all these ones. They are not my making. What am I? I now told me yesterday, he said, this camera you have brought now, that who is the one who will advertise them to the world? He said, just do what I asked you to do. I told him, I said, this is what they say. When we bought the last thing, the money in my hand went to like 20,000, and I'm owing 20,000. So what was in my hand that I thought I should spend was just 2,000. But not revenge. But if you look at me, you will say, yeah, no, it's God that is financing it. And so he's preaching me. The pastor is telling me he's coming to you. He will knock at your door one day. Because as he's throwing it, the people are touching it. He will come to the prayer. He will say, blessed are the prayer in spirit. But they shall do it. So, you know, God is going to examine us one by one, our thoughts, our aspiration, everything. And so I come back to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 21. I read from Romans. Chapter 17. When they pray and the movie speak like that, and there's none. And they are told, pray not to pray. And the Lord will hear them. And the God of Israel will not forsake them. I will open the mouth to help places, and plant in the midst of the valley. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the cedar tree, and the myrtle, and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree, and the pine, and the first tree together. Look at here, please. Do you know that God is thinking about you? As God is talking to the big pastors, He's also thinking about us. That we are still struggling. And He has promised us that He's not going to let us down if we reject idolatry. If we don't go the way of idol, if we stay here with Him and hold Him and trust Him. You see, I used to look at the first generation of redeem and deeper life. When they started, all that the pastor could boast of was a car. He has a car, at least as a lecturer. From what he told of, 2 shirts, 2 trousers. And what I know them is sandal. And you see the categories of the people that are following him the same way. But they stood. They stay inside that waterlogged area. People tested at them. People laughed at them. You are not going to do it. He kept on following the Lord. And today, he doesn't want to buy aircraft. If people are going to buy aircraft, people within a day they will raise the money. And so, if we are like them, we wait on the Lord, we stand with the Lord, and we shun worldliness, and we shun everything that will take away our joy. The Lord has promised to take care of us. Now, go back to that place that we read again, verse 17. When the poor and the needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue cleaveth for them, I, the Lord, will hear them. That means we must pray for every need. Yesterday, when we were praying, there is somebody the Lord told me, say this one, as he's jumping up, he wants to erase him of poverty. And that I will see how blessing will flow in his direction. Now, this that what the Lord is confirming. You are praying to pray out strength into problem. Get ready for the visitation of God. He said, I will let wilderness a pool of water. That is God teaching his face. That even in the desert, when there is no water, you are looking at your guy, you are looking at your finance, who will pay my school fees? When will pay? Let me tell you, as I sat down in the house, me, I'm looking ahead, what will the Lord will do? By the time that these children will begin to go to school, I'm praying in my heart that this church will have gotten to the level that will write off their school fees. You don't know that God can do that. I don't even struggle. I just call him. Maybe I'll call director, manager, Jeffrey. Pay the school fees of that boy. I want to clap for Jesus. That's what the Lord wants to do. If we wait on him, if we trust him, if we cannot be like this, if we are standing as one force, the Lord said he's going to do it. And you know that the Lord has been faithful to all the people who followed him in all generations. What he has promised that he will do here, he has been doing it. Let's check it out. Exodus chapter 2. Exodus chapter 2. Verse 23. And it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel died by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groaning. And God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And the Lord looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. Did you see that? Over the ages. Those who waited upon the Lord, you cannot buy the best. The Lord has everything in store to bless your life, to change your life. Especially those of you who are married on Monday. Come and refrain yourself. Israel as a nation was called of God, and they maintained the status quo even in bondage. They were calling on the Lord, no matter what you are passing through. Don't stay with God, though. Don't go outside. I had learned that over time. When my travel was reaching a net breaking point, and people were saying, if you go to that mountain, if you go to that valley, I told the Lord that if you don't do it, I won't step out. I just remain. That's why I used to use this road as an example. I was just doing the thing, Lord, except you do it. I won't move. And I said, my wife will call and say, where are you? I said, I'm praying. She said, sorry, hear your prayer. And I was telling that my brother, I said, what I'm doing now is not yesterday. I have been praying for over 20 years. Amen. And nothing was moving. Where were you in my first year? Only children knows me. They say I carry nylon bag on my hand. You always see me with nylon bag. And my hand will be raw. I was picking it out. Second year, where were you? This young man came towards the end when things were about to start changing, and he felt the frustration. He said, this prayer is not fast enough. I don't know. That was how I've been doing it over the years. And that time, just remaining like 7 years, he came in. And we went through that 7 years together. He saw the region of poverty. He saw the trouble of a traveling minister. That we pray. No answer will come. And after a few months, local, in the 7 year elapsed, we started seeing sickness. If I pray for this person, we say, that your prayer was small. And after I said that signal, I know I must, at first, I love the signal. This was not the way the Lord really planned it. When the signal first came, I saw several revelations. I just knelt down beside my bed, and I saw my first neighbor, my second neighbor, my third neighbor, my fourth neighbor. Okay, my fourth neighbor. I just told them the vision. I saw the brother that said I killed the daughter. What's his name? Bro, what do you say? Lucky. I saw Bro Lucky. Several revelations. I saw Project Get. And I went to them one after the other. I said, the Lord told me, this is what will happen. The second neighbor was a repeat pastor. I went to his house. I knocked. He came out. He knew that I'm not the waka about. I came to my house. Immediately he saw me, he opened the gate. He said, you want to talk to me? I said, yeah, the Lord spoke to me about you. That trouble is coming. Trouble is coming. And it will take away your life. I didn't know that in their church, They just brought a new pastor, and the congregation did not like the pastor. He started. They began to murmur. Maybe he wasn't doing it the way they wanted it to do it. And the pastors too, to let him believe. And then there was one man there, a custom officer. He was one pastoring the church, building the church. And they wrote a petition to build that pastor. And they sent the petition maybe to the high court of I cannot remember. And this man, because of told that trouble is coming, he stepped away. He didn't join. They went against the pastor, that the pastor did this, he did that. So the pastor came to the pulpit. The pastor said, look at me very well. I didn't commit sin. But you people wrote petition against me. God will judge. The pastor went away. The rich man died. Maybe another person died. My person now called me. He said, his name is Mosele. He said, as you see me, you see my wife and my two daughters. I don't get paid for Lagos. I don't get paid for Benin. I know they look for trouble way past me. That money that you gave me saved my life. The people died. That was the first. When they wanted to relieve me, that was the first thing. I went to the second neighbor, the third neighbor. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. They brought one to me, mostly. That one, I knocked at his door. And the wife said he's not around. I came back again. I knocked. The wife said he's not around. I wasn't that I used to see around. Eventually one day, I come over there. I said, Grandpa, I've been knocking. They say you are not. I said, my wife. That was my wife. They don't want. You see, as you see me and her, they carry cutlass for sure. So there's no way she's going to tell you that I'm at home. Then I told her, I said, trouble is coming. I saw a caterpillar dragging everywhere. He said, thank you for telling me. Do you know what happened? He carried that wife on his Okada and they moved to our junction and he stood there with the wife, the same woman, and Okada came from nowhere and broke his own leg. Okay, iron is inside his bed. He is working out like this. He now came to my house with a friend and said, you want me. You want me that trouble is coming. I didn't listen. Look at the results. That was it. Number 3 was Lucky. The Lord told me that Lucky and his wife, hellfire is pursuing them. He said I should go and meet the wife. I should draw it on the ground. So when I entered church, I saw the woman, so I said, come, tell your husband what I want to tell you. I drew it on the ground, said you are here. Your husband is here. Hellfire is here. So she did like this. And walked away. And told the husband. The husband was furious. Who gave Adesina that authority? They know they see this one for the palace. Me, I saw that one. I saw it. They reported to the group pastor. They went to my side. There's one brother working with light press or light tape. They went to see pastor. They want me to be disciplined. I was ready. And then they invited me to the group pastor's place that you can't be prophesying. Yeah, I did it. And before I got to my pastor already was already telling me that Adesina will go down with this one. As you don't go prophesy, you are going down. So I was ready. I just walked into the place and the Baba said, is it Adesina you are talking to? Let me say it like that.
Yeah, Adesina you are talking to.
Come on. That's how I escaped. I escaped everything out of it. Then I was planning to approach Pastor JJ. And the devil brought the story that I stole money in the church. That was the out of the 7 revelations. I think that was the last one I attempted. I just closed my mouth. That somebody that is accused or feeling cannot prophesy. And that spirit led him. I was blaming myself that maybe I should have continued, but I couldn't do it because of that accusation. It took me many years. When that matter was resolved, they said I should write how I spent money. I wrote. They couldn't find any where I spent money. It was then the Lord said, go now. And I was struggling with that goal. But today I'm gone. Some people are still angry at my going. The Lord is telling us this, that if we behave right, He will bless us. Let me tell you this, in a church, if there's one Judas, that church will not move. All of us must have one mind. God does not try when there's confusion, when there's disorderliness, that everything must be done in order. Of we are still poor. The big churches, they are catching the big miracles. And God is telling us here that those of us that are still poor, He wants to bless us. Are we not going to come together as one? I say, Lord, do as you have said. Raise us up also. This is not the best church. We thank God for few of us that are around. Thank God on Sunday, some people will still come. But this is not the best. This is not where we are going. We are going somewhere. Give me a loud amen. And the Lord has promised. And trust me, as long as I have breath, whatever challenge that is facing you, we will battle it together. Ah, Sister Blessing's case, it was like you will be drowned. I met case. When the father threw him out of the house, I went there. I said, allow him to stay here. They brought 4 malams and that. I contended with them. They said, your Jesus cannot rent out for me. So your Jesus, when he said that, I couldn't tell. Because that time, our Jesus did not have money in church account. And they brought him out. And he fled one day inside Siena bus. And when he told me that he slept inside Siena bus, my head cracked. I said, I have a room in my house, but you can't stay with me. You become a slave. If I want to sneeze, you just have to bring your nose. Let me help you clean it. And I don't want that. You must have your own liberty. You can the car. I brought my car to the church that day. He said, Pastor, let me talk to you. I'm going to wash this tire. I said, no, don't do that. And I began to think, how are we going to solve this man's problem? And one brother just, the following day also, one brother just came and gave me 40,000. This is what he said, this is what I, something like this was what I bought, a combo like this. He gave me 40,000. I gave it to Sister Shagari. I said, hold the money. And I came to Shagari and I saw this thing. They were displaying it on the ground. And I went and said, how much? Everybody say, how much? They said it's 12,000. So I sent for 12,000. I paid for that thing. When I have money left, I called Brother Dowdy. Say, Brother Dowdy, there's a young man here. He needs help. Can you please give us? He sent 10,000 naira. The money was almost getting to him. All the money in the local. He got in the house. He's from that house to marry this beautiful woman. You don't want to cry. And that is going to do now. Say amen to that. That is going to fight. He will stay here. I want you to rise up. I need you, you need me. We need each other. You didn't say yes. Therefore, I need you. Then you need me also. Okay. Therefore, I need you. What did you say? Okay. Oscar, I need you. Okay. Rich, I need you. I need you, sir. Ahmed, I need you. I need everybody in the name of Jesus. We are together. Nothing will separate us. We are going to be. The Lord must bless us. And God makes us blessings. You are not in my strength. You are in my strength. And God will never laugh. And God will not disappoint. He will not put us to shame. I want you to pray that prayer in. Son of bless us. Plant in the wilderness. Let the rivers flow in the wilderness. Open the river in the high places. Let it flow into our midst. In Jesus' name I pray. Close your eyes very well. The blessing I'm praying for is not stream, no. It's Atlantic blessing. Mediterranean blessing. Pacific blessing. I want you to pray. In Jesus' name, give me another amen. As long as the Lord lives, those of you who made it to the church today, you will be ahead of them now. I prophesy to you now. Your man is telling me something now that very soon, few months, you will just see some women inside you. Like this one that is going to school, right from school, you'll be making money. You don't see some things that is not unusual. I prophesy to your life. We see unusual breakthroughs. The next time inside this house, they will deliver. Inside your house, they will deliver. Inside your campus, they will deliver. Inside your business, I declare, the Lord is blessed. Your blessing of the Lord is come. To change. It's with God to serve. It's outside. You give money, one bird. Lay hand on yourself. Lord, devil cannot deprive us of our right. In the book of Isaiah, we find our right. It says, he will hear the cry of the poor. All of us that are here. Who is great among us now? But you are great. Father, transfer that your greatness into our lives. And say amen. open your eyes. Brothers and Deborah. Deborah, is your family from chieftaincy line? You don't know. Brother, is hanging between two of you. Either daughter is a free culture and seeing a place that looks like trees or a kingdom building. Close your eyes. Whatever has stepped into your life that has to do with ancient culture, they wear white in that cult and they put beads. And feel it between two of you. Anything and nothing against your life. This thing I'm seeing, this stuff that I'm seeing, nothing that is going on life. That is 19 years old. God likes me. That I've written that every step you take, you take a thing down. I come to next tonight. Everything that makes you the church tonight, not to live a prayer in your life. Not pray to pray in your life. Not pray to pray in your life. And see, Amen. God is going to do something for you right now. It is so holy. It's heaven. There is something that looks like it was not sleep. You see, ah, right now I decree. Whoever is being hindered by generational trouble, let that thing fall down. Let there be ease in your life. Ease to make money. Ease to be prospered. Ease to fruitfulness. Ease to business of life. Ease to marital empowerment. Ease to enter school. Ease to pay house rent. Ease in your rent issue. Let there be ease everywhere. But currently, how many of you know what they call a bogey? A bogey. The back of the tree. I'm saying something like that, holding you together. And God began to teach them. Say, give them chance. Give them chance. The Lord will teach you everything that has happened to them. Let the evil bring the satisfaction. Let an earth will be made for you to promise. Lord, as you are promised us in today's teaching, do exactly like that. I know the blessing around.